Welcome to ISLAC. Today we're covering how substances move in and out of cells, diffusion, osmosis and active transport. Get these three straight and you'll pick up marks right across IGCSE biology, from gas exchange to root hair cells. Here's the plan. Why cells need transport, then diffusion and what changes its rate, then osmosis and water potential, what happens to plant and animal cells in solutions, active transport, and calculating percentage change in mass. Hold on to one idea first. A cell is never sealed off, it constantly takes in what it needs and removes its waste. Everything has to cross the cell membrane, and there are exactly three ways it happens. The cell membrane is partially permeable. It lets small molecules like water and oxygen pass straight through, but blocks larger ones. This selective barrier is what makes controlled transport, especially osmosis, possible. There are three ways across. Diffusion moves particles down the gradient. Osmosis moves water across a partially permeable membrane. And active transport moves particles up the gradient. We'll take them one at a time. Process 1 is diffusion, the net movement of particles from a high to a low concentration down the gradient. It's passive, no energy needed. Oxygen diffuses into your blood, carbon dioxide out. A steeper gradient and higher temperature speed it up. What speeds diffusion up? 4 factors. A steeper gradient and a higher temperature make particles move faster. A larger surface area and a shorter distance also speed it up. Exchange surfaces like the alveoli are built for all 4. Process 2 is osmosis, diffusion, but for water only. Water moves across a partially permeable membrane from a dilute solution, which has a high water potential, towards a concentrated solution, which has a low water potential. Animal cells have no cell wall, so they're vulnerable. In pure water, water floods in and the cell can burst, lysis. In a concentrated solution, water leaves and the cell shrivels, crenation. So the body keeps blood at a steady concentration. Plant cells have a strong cell wall, so they behave differently. In water they take water in and become firm, or turgid, which supports the plant. In a concentrated solution they lose water, become flaccid, and finally plasmolysed. Here's the exam skill. Percentage change in mass equals the change in mass, divided by the starting mass, times 100. A chip starting at 5 grams and ending at 4.4 gives minus 12%. It lost water by osmosis. Process 3 is active transport, and it's the odd one out. It moves particles up the gradient, from low to high concentration. Because that's uphill, it needs energy from respiration, has ATP, and carrier proteins in the membrane to pump the particles across. The key point is direction. Active transport moves particles from a low concentration to a high concentration, the exact opposite of diffusion. That's why it can't be passive. Going uphill always costs energy. And where does that energy come from? Respiration. Active transport uses ATP released by respiration, together with carrier proteins in the membrane. A cell doing a lot of active transport will have many mitochondria to supply the energy. Two examples examiners love. Root hair cells absorb mineral ions from the soil, even though the soil is more dilute than the cell. And your gut absorbs the last of the glucose from digested food, against the gradient, so none is wasted. Quick check, pause the video. Which process moves particles up a concentration gradient and needs energy from respiration? Have a think, then press play. The answer is active transport, the only one of the three that uses energy. Let's put them side by side. Diffusion, particles, down the gradient, passive. Osmosis, water, across a membrane, down the gradient, passive. Active transport, particles, up the gradient, and it needs energy. Direction and energy are the differences. That's diffusion, osmosis and active transport. To lock it in, take the free quiz and read the full notes, both linked in the description below. Subscribe to ISLAC for more IGCSE biology, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to ISLAC for a new IGCSE lesson every day, and I'll see you in the next one.